No. Nope. 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 Keep getting it wrong. Okay. Hi, I'm Matilda, and in case you're not one of my many Twitter followers, I am an early career historian working on the memoirs of Napoleonic soldiers at UCD in Dublin, except at the moment I'm working from home. Given the current state of things, I kind of wanted to make something to distract myself and hopefully you for a few minutes, and where better to start than with the ramblings of possible war criminals. There are so many better places to start. Specifically, I wanted to share some snippets from the memoirs of Captain Gronow, who was a British Army officer, society dandy, all-round very fancy man with a beautiful moustache and tightly waisted coats, who published some of his memoirs in the 1860s about London society and the army in the time of the Napoleonic Wars. So something you might not at first think about soldiers' war memoirs is that they were actually meant to be entertaining a lot of the time, especially in the early 19th century. They were written by veterans turned authors who were often quite skilled storytellers, and they were hoping to appeal, like Gronow, to a wide, varied audience with some cash to spare, who would chuckle in recognition at a lot of the people who were being described. What's more, possibly unlike this video, their scripts had actually been tried and tested for years beforehand, told aloud as anecdotes to friends, family, old comrades. So by reading some of them aloud, I'm hoping to get you to at least, sensibly chuckle. That's the goal here. So without further ado, I'd like to present to you day number 1 of mild 19th century bitchiness, courtesy of a Napoleonic officer.
5 days of gentle Napoleonic sass with Captain Gronow.
Today's reading comes from the section of Gronow's memoirs entitled Society in London in 1814. As you can see, this is not the real book, but a library book that is now overdue because the campus is closed. I borrowed it for a reading group to which I was invited and then disinvited before the session took place. Luckily, I had not read it. Apologies to Bernadette Devlin. Drinking and play were more universally indulged in then than at the present time, and many men still living must remember the couple of bottles of port at least which accompanied his dinner in those days. Indeed, female society amongst the upper classes was most notoriously neglected, except, perhaps, by romantic foreigners, who were the heroes of many a fashionable adventure that fed the clubs with scandal. How could it be otherwise, when husbands spent their days in the hunting field, or were entirely occupied with politics, and always away from home during the day, whilst the dinner party, commencing at 7 or 8, frequently did not break up before 1 in the morning? There were then 4 and even 5 bottle men, and the only thing that saved them was drinking very slowly and out of very small glasses. The learned head of the law, Lord Eldon, and his brother, Lord Stowell, or Stowell, I don't know, sorry, used to say that they had drunk more bad port than any 2 men in England. Indeed, the former was rather apt to be overtaken, and to speak occasionally somewhat thicker than natural, after long and heavy potations. The late Lords Panmure, Dufferin, and Blaney, wonderful to relate, were 6 bottle men at this time, and I really think that if the good society of 1815 could appear before their more moderate descendants, in the state they were generally reduced to after dinner, the moderns would pronounce their ancestors fit for nothing but bed. So ends our reading. For my total lack of camera presence, acting skills, editing skills, and basically everything, I can only apologise, both to you and to Captain Gronow, who would undoubtedly have done this better than me. If you're interested in actually reading more of these memoirs, they're actually available online completely free as ebooks, and also they've been recorded as a free audiobook on YouTube, so I'll put some links somewhere to do with that around here. In the meantime, take care, and thank you very much for watching. Wink.